How's that? Is that better? Yeah, no, there we go. We have audio. Womp womp. Okay, yeah, my mic is doing a thing right now where it doesn't recognize anything. So yeah. Anyways, we're gonna be looking at our new pack of stuff. Okay, let's do the reintroduction since our mic was off for the sealed pack. We got a couple of pretty sweet cards in the pack. I unfortunately don't get to show it now because I already opened it, but there was an Auric Sentry, or an Auric, what you call it, the 1/5 Endurance Warcry. Let's go ahead and just take a look at these cards. So the main thing is that our rare for the pack was actually great. See, as we're playing Argenport Valkyries, it's a pretty good deal to get the Silverwing Commander as our 5-drop in the slot. We don't even have 5 drops in the slot right now, so that is just a crazy good, crazy good hit, and might actually lead us to increase the number of weapons, maybe run Stalwart Shield again. I could ditch the Valkyrie Militant potentially, which is a card that I'm not terribly fond of, and we actually just have like a little bit more like straight impact on the board as a result of that. Auric Sentry is also in here, which is a really strong 3-drop for holding down the fort, getting tons of war cries in. That probably flat out replaces Crown Watch Legionnaire, a card that I have been really unimpressed with so far. So yeah, we'll definitely throw that in. And yeah, we also got a Crown Watch Longsword, super strong 2-drop weapon. My deck does rely on weapons quite a bit, and I kind of want to play this as opposed to maybe even Lethrai Ranger, which is a card that I don't know. It has a relatively reasonable, does seem to do a decent amount, but it's not a card that I'm super strongly fond of. So we'll think about that one, maybe put it in. Let's go ahead and throw it into the pile for the moment. With the advent of that card, we could potentially run a few more Valkyrie. We could do Soaring Guard again. We could actually go for like the straight Valkyrie, just everything deck, seeing as we have like some pretty cool stuff on the ground. Let's look at our other options as well. So what else is new? What else is new? Valkyrie Militant was one of them. We saw some okay shadow cards. I'm not sure if anything was super standout. Venom Fang Dagger is pretty cool. And let's think about that for a second, see if there's anything that can actually be used with Venom Fang Dagger to create a really cool effect. No quick draw units of any kind. I think it's just not strong enough if there's no quick draw units or no direct damage units. Xenon Fanatic's pretty okay. We could actually potentially use this on the ground. This is a card that has been in my deck for quite some time, but it just never gets used because we're only using like Spirit Blade Stalker and occasionally that other 3-drop to do anything. So I don't think that's going to come in. Subvert, on the other hand. Now that is a really solid late game card for draft decks. I think this is just like really good card draw / really good card advantage. Tends to pull like the most useful card out of your opponent's deck, and it's really good in sort of mid-rangey control. We've also got Thorn Beast. Thorn Beast is a really okay 3-drop. It is basically just another High Branch Sentry, except that it sometimes sacrifices another unit, which is crazy nice, like very useful. So we'll take a look at that. I'm gonna cut the Tinker. I'm gonna put in the, we already put in the sword, right? Crown Watch Longsword. Cool. Loyal Watchwing is still on the field and still up for potential use. Cowan Watchman is kind of looking like it might be cut at some point. We're feeling pretty high on 6-drops. I've got a really cool 5-drop now. It's going to kind of replace that card. And a little bit more on the ground, like just beef-wise, later in the game. So I don't know if Town Watchman's actually going to make a cut this time. He does stall the ground very nicely, which is always useful, but we're also using some like cool lifesteal cards. We have some reasonable tricks here. I think we might just want to ditch the Town Watchman and try and focus our 6s on Challenge by Law, Spirit Drain, and the 2 Valkyrie Arcanists. That way we have a little bit more going on in that front. We cut the 4-drop out, so let's look and see if there's any one other card that just doesn't really strike our fancy. Lethrai Ranger has been a little bit poorly behaved, but not unreasonably so, and it does really respond well to having a Crown Watch Longsword put on it. Plague is pretty good, Slay's pretty good, Skeeter's still pretty good, Watchwing and Entrapment, love them. Spirit Blade Stalker is... This card doesn't perform as well as it often should, but it is still very useful. And considering that we now have Silverwing Commander as an option, this probably stays in. I'm currently at 19 units, 3 attachments, and 7 spells, so we want to look at other cards and see if there's anything worth cutting. Currently it's 17 power. 17 power has felt pretty right. Occasionally I've wanted 18, especially to get to my like 6 drops, but if we cut one 6 drop and go down 1/5, then that feels really comfy. So yeah, I think we're looking pretty good here. Infused Strike, potentially our worst removal card. Affliction is still pretty useful for getting rid of lots of early stuff and making sure that we clear with Lethrai Ranger. Infused Strike could replace Crownwatch Longsword, but it's also a pretty good card for Valkyrie in general, just because if we're getting a big Valkyrie across with an Infused Strike, then sometimes that works out really well. I don't know, this card does... It's very hard to get this to behave in the way that we want it to behave, which is as a, like, somewhat better, somewhat, like, less awful version of, like, well, it's not awful at all, but, like, a somewhat comparable version of the 4 cost that gives me +4/+4 and armor for the Valkyrie. Like, it gives a lot of life gain, it gives a lot of life steal. It should be better than it is. I've just had fairly poor luck with it, I think. So it might be this card that gets cut just so that we can focus on that heavy unit count, and we'll just ditch a trick as a result. That's interesting, because then we lose a little bit less, basically, ways to deal with things, but I think that might be the right way to go. I'm feeling pretty comfy with that. Alright, so now our lifesteal is down to Spirit Blade Stalker and Skeeter, which I'm not sure I'm terribly comfy with, but we got a huge, colossal amount of cool 3-drops. We're at 17 power. Valkyrie Arcanist is in here. I could cut a Valkyrie Arcanist. I don't really want to do that. Let's call this good. This looks pretty solid. That's Silverwing Commander. That's a crazy bomb. And Subvert is also a crazy bomb, although it may not look like it. I think we got 2 very, very good cards added into this deck, and a couple of really important stabilizers to like make the mid-game better, so let's do the thing. The question of whether Tinker is better than Crownwatch Longsword is an interesting one to me. Both give a +2/+2 bonus. One of them is a little bit more surprising and a little bit more immediate. Yeah, which for aggressive is generally better. And it's also a little bit more focused. Like, we guaranteed put it on Skeeter when we need to, or we hold it for really useful cards, we use it to get Lethrai Ranger across. Like, all of those things just better benefit our deck. Tinker gives us that Scout, which is really useful, but I think that's reasonably strong. Okay. This has 2 power of 2 different colors that I want. It's got a Slay and a Pliag. Silverwing Commander and Valkyrie Arcanist are both pretty okay, but I don't know if I'm going to get to play them because we're currently on 2 power. I'll have to play Emerald Monument, which I don't love. I think I redraw this. Sparring Partner is a plan, and Slay is a finishing touch to that plan, but I just don't think there's enough game there. Okay, and we got pretty lucky on the redraw. A 2-drop, a 4-drop, plenty of action. We even get to play Ravenous Thornbeast as a 3 if we want to, which is pretty cool. Frontier Confessor with the skill's pretty neat. Tandem Watchwing's also pretty neat. Now this I can work with. Alright, we could use Affliction here to stop the Warcry. I'm very tempted. If I do that, then I'm going to be not playing Tranquil Scholar for a while. I feel like developing Tranquil Scholar is probably going to turn out pretty well for me, so let's get that done. What'd you get? Not flying, that's good. You got Charge. Charge is an interesting one. I kind of want to put that on Thornbeast. Frontier Confessor is also not terrible. Let's put it on Tandem Watchwing, since that's the card that I'm actually going to be aggressing with, I think. Okay, so we got this Battlefield Scavenger. It's attacking in. Let's go ahead and block, see if we can get a trick out of him or see a pause, anything like that. No pause, good to know. There's an Affliction, not the card I'm looking for. I'm going to go ahead and play my Thornbeast. I think we're just going to make a 5/5. We know there's no tricks, so we'll be able to block the Xenon Destroyer pretty easy, as long as he doesn't have some sort of straight removal.
Take it, it's yours.
Humble Instructor can give that +1/+1. You can't possibly have another trick. Did he just draw a Finest Hour? Nope, we're good. He might have like an Affliction here. Yeah, everything worked out just fine. Tandem Watchwing has charge, so we get to charge in with it. We could also play Frontier Confessor and silence that Battlefield Scavenger, which I actually really like here. I'm quite tired of it, and I want it out of here. Let's just start womping on him. Humble Instructor is another card that might actually be worth afflictioning or silencing, but it's probably just... It's going to take an Affliction to kill it, so it's not that big a deal. Tandem Watchwing actually really goes well with Battlefield Scavenger here. Okay, Dream Snatcher has Lifesteal. I don't love it. Let's go ahead and Affliction here. Gonna play Tandem Watchwing. Attack with both of these guys. The pressure here is pretty good, but we still got this Dream Snatcher hitting us for lifesteal gains. And that is potentially bad, seeing as he might be a Life Force activation deck. He had a Xeno Destroyer there. Prosecutor at Arms is interesting. At least it means he doesn't have lifesteal, so that gives us a little bit to work with. And we still got our 2-1 flying here, so fairly happy with that result, I think. Skeeter. Play that down. Battlefield Scavenger. I don't need to play it down here, but I think I should.
Now this I can work with.
We're hitting him for 3 in the air. We've got decent blockers for the lifesteal guy. The 4/4 is kind of a problem on the ground, but I think we're ahead of the game at the moment. It's just a question of what his last cards are. And this is where Subvert would come really in handy. Oh man, Mithril Mace, that's awful. That's actually really good for him. Okay, so first things first, let's steal the last card in his hand. Shielded Short Barrel. I will take it. I am in. Okay, so yeah, attack for 1 here. I don't get to protect my Skeeter. The Skeeter just dies. And then he probably gets to pick up another unit off of that. But I can at least use the Battlefield Scavenger to bring back one of my other Valkyrie. Which should be a pretty cool deal. Ooh. Okay, so if I short-barreled here, I could make a 6/4. Not a terrible play. I think we just bring back our dude here.
Back to the skies with you.
And then, yeah, we're looking pretty good. I don't love my next turn against this Mithril Mace. This is going to be a problem.
Seek the light.
Wow, Valkyrie Bodyguard is also quite good. As long as he's got his weapon up, he can actually attack with it. Which is fine. We're good with that. Tandem Watchwing has Charge and Warcry, which is a not great deal. And now I've got a 4/4 and a 4/5 both attacking me. Also not a great deal. Okay, so Silverwing Rallier, I like it. Shielded Short Barrel, I like it. What we get to do next is very, very dependent on how our next couple of turns go. Lothrai Ranger is probably going to get knocked over by the 4/5 or the 4/4. We have to kill that lifesteal guy. This is all pretty awkward. Pretty crazy awkward. Gilded Glaive is pretty cool here. Gives me a 4/3 again, and the Shielded Short Barrel helps out too. I'm not terribly happy with that. Let's play the Shielded Short Barrel on this guy now. That'll protect it from anything but armor weapons, which is pretty up our alley, and it'll also allow us to bond out Silverwing Rallier next turn if we don't draw the power for Gilded Glaive. But yeah, I'm a little bit of an unhappy camper right now, especially since he could potentially draw another Mithril Mace or crazy weapon. Okay, one Silverwing Rallier.
Here we make our stand. Spears.
And that actually gets us the extra health for Tandem Watchwing. Combined with Gilded Glaive, we're going to be able to attack with that and get a lot done. Silverwing Commander's also pretty good in the air here. We have the board pretty well stalled out. Gemblade's pretty sweet. Let's just play that on this guy since he's got Warcry already. And Aegis. And it's just like a huge monster. And we're just going to hit him as hard as we can. That Shielded Short Barrel. Man, that was a good pull. The last card in your opponent's hand. Often a very good one. Okay, Silverwing Commander's next, and/or Gilded Glaive, depending on what his next card is. Okay, he's gonna do the full attack. That makes sense. We could just ignore him here. It's not actually that bad. I kind of really want to kill Dream Snatcher before he gets anything crazy done, so let's see if we've got the trick. Alright, a 1-for-1 trade, and he gets a bunch of life out of it, which is not great, but 8 plus 5 is 13, 16... Oh, it's so close. If I had power, then we'd be totally done, but nah, we're just gonna attack for 8 and 5. Play down a High Branch Sentry, because Silverwing Commander is like our, I don't know, our harsh roll insurance for the most part. And the High Branch Sentry is the chump blocker that we need for Prosecutor. Okay, and we still got 5 in the air, so womp womp. Let's hit him hard. Oh, I'm so glad I got a Subvert, man. What a nutty card. Okay, that's one. Now we need to finish pretty highly here to even like have a chance at getting into the top 1,000. A lot of people have already played their runs, and we can see that we're like 1630 without that many wins, so yeah, we need to be pretty good here. I need that top 1,000 placement, so in order to do that, I'm going to have to win probably at least more than I lose, and I'd say maybe 7 to 8 games. The competition was surprisingly stiff, and that second week hurt us really bad, but I think we still have a pretty good chance of making top 1,000, so let's see what we can do. Oh, I'm so glad. That was such a good pack. Just really lots of help there, and pretty fun stuff. Okay. Daft 3D, ready to rock and roll? Okay, let's see here. I can't really do anything with that, so we're going to, yeah. This is all pretty good. Copperhull Porter into Tandem Watchwing. Silverwing Rallier's not my favorite card to get early, but we do have a lot going on that we can maybe work with. I want to play Tranquil Scholar to see if I can get a buff on Copperhull Porter. That'd be pretty cool. Ooh, Yonder Blinkwolf. Always fun to have. I think Copperhull Porter to trade with Blinkwolf seems like a pretty good idea here, seeing as Tranquil Scholar can be played next turn, or possibly the turn after if I want to play Tandem Watchwing first. Oh, awesome. Okay, so this deck seems to want to be aggressive, and getting the actual green off of Copperhull Porter is really a very good deal for us. So let's go ahead and play Tranquil Scholar next as a blocker and or just regular dude. We could do Thornbeast to clog up the ground, but I've got the Plague, so if we play the Tranquil Scholar first... Is there a chance we could draw another 2-drop? No, we want the Tranquil Scholar first, either as Sacrifice Fodder or just as a sweet card. Ooh, Killer. Okay. Silverwing Rallier with Killer's pretty good. Thornbeast with Killer's pretty good. I gotta make some decisions about that one. This is a tougher hit. Silverwing Rallier is the best statted unit. Thornbeast is the second best statted since it's likely to be a 5/5. I think... I think Rallier is correct since we can bring it back. And I don't know if I want to kill this Blinkwolf or not. I think we'll be good. We have the Flag, so... Plague. Oh, what? I was trying to play that Justice Sigil. Alright, we'll just play a 3/3. That was weird. I thought I clicked on it. Alright, it's fine. We got a 3/3 out of the bargain, so I'm not an unhappy camper.
You've got a familiar face.
Oh no, our 2/2 was silenced. How sad, how sad. Go ahead and attack for 3 here, since we can get ourselves a Confessor in the bargain. And since the trade with the Confessor is pretty bad, he'll probably take it. Cool. Tandem Watchwing, Spirit Blade Stalker, and Frontier Confessor are all pretty good cards here. I'd say I'm most interested in Spirit Blade Stalker. And we're hoping to see some cool things to plague. Like a Tandem Watchwing or something. Like, I just want to ignore this 2-1 for the most part. Yeah, that's a rough gun down, but we haven't played our best units yet. Let's ignore the Blink Wolf. We'll just attack in. I've got some decent stuff here as well. I could always use Plague.
Valkyrie.
I use the Plague to hit the 2-1. Plague. Oh man, I'm really bad at saying the word Plague. Okay, that's actually pretty awkward. A 5/6 is really, really good value, and also trades pretty well with everything I've currently got. I think we have to use the Plague here, because it kills the 2-1 and gets us a little less damage from that 4/6 while we set up a better defense. Also allows me to Frontier Confessor the next thing and still get a double block on the 4/5. But yeah, this guy's pretty nasty, and we're still kind of looking to be at a slightly higher value of units. So let's see what we can do.
By spell and steel.
Valkyrie Arcanist, pretty strong card. We're going to silence
You've got
that.
a familiar face.
That gives us a block for the 4/5, and also keeps him pretty firmly bounded to the ground. These Mithril Maces have been insane. Everyone who's had them has just had a much better leg up against me than I have had against them. But at least here we can attack for 2 and play the Auric Sentry to keep the board somewhat safe against aggro. Now, however, I really, really need to preserve my life total, and it's gonna be a rough day. We're already in torch range, which is not where we want to be.
We forge what we need.
Okay.
My sword is
Oh no, Renegade Valkyrie is a really big problem. Skeeter here. We get the Gilded Glaive down and we don't die this turn? Do we die this turn? I think we die this turn. I think he's just got enough to kill me. Oh yeah, definitely. That's a block that doesn't really work because he still does 4 to me. I gain 1. Yeah, he's got more than enough. Alright, so we were really struggling for that power 6, which is a problem the deck is currently having. I could go to 18 power, but I just feel like that's not the right call. I missed some attacks in the previous weeks. I don't think so. We played cautiously, but we didn't play crazily. Alright. I certainly wouldn't remember if I had. Okay, so that's 2 games. We're 1-1. I need a better record than 1-1. Hello, George. We're gonna redraw here. Okay, I see 3 power. Monument Justice Shadow. Okay, this is pretty fine. High-Brand Sentry plays on 3, so that gives me something. I've got a slow start though, and my opponent has a Trailmaker, so this could get ugly pretty fast. The good news is I can play High-Brand Sentry on 3, defend my face against a Thunderhoof Warrior, and still have enough to entrapment or just stay put against some other stuff. So that's nice. If he goes in on me with the 3/3, we can just knock it over. That's pretty ugly. Alright, so I think we're going to play a Shadow Sigil and pretend to have nothing so we can entrapment. It's possible that he figures out a way to Nightfall here, or only attacks with a 2/1, plays around it. That's going to be rough if he does. Like, we don't really want that to happen, but best bet is to just kill this 3/3 because it does need to die. Alright, what's your next call? Serene Excavator. That is a card that I can deal with. So let's play the Skeeter or the Tandem Watchwing. Skeeter seems like the right play since I'm actually running a little behind. He can get a Sentinel, and we can slay the Sentinel, so that's nice. Sandbinder Sentinel. Okay, so that's definitely going to knock our stuff down a little bit, but we can now defend against Trailmaker, so I don't think I'm too opposed to it. The main thing is getting out this Silver Wing Rallier. If we can do that, I think we'll be in okay shape. Ooh, 3-4 is pretty nasty. Let's play Tandem Watchwing. 3-4 in the air is a pretty big deal. But if we can get the Silver Wing Rallier down, I think we're fine. So let's just slay here. And if I want to attack for one, I can, but it's better to actually hold off and defend against the Trailmaker. Ravenous Thornbeast can be a 5-5. Silver Wing Rallier is a 5-4. And we've got a 4-4. And we've got Challenge by Law, Frontier Confessor. We have ways to knock this Excavator out of the air. Oh, Twitch still says Slay the Spire? Yeah, that's something we can change. Alright, so there's 3. Ornamental Daggers on that guy. Interesting call. We're gonna Spirit Drain this one. And I'm gonna stay put with the Tandem Watchwing because I'm kind of willing to offer that trade. Maybe not. Maybe we just attack for 2 and then we start trading for 1 apiece. Silver Wing Rallier is going to be a bond that I really want, so if we get another power, we can just do that. Battlefield Scavenger can get back a flyer. It's not crazy good for me, but it'll work.
Now this.
And we'll avoid sacrificing unit to Thornbeast because the 3-3 is going to be more useful, I think. Just currently defends pretty well against the board. It's not great against Sentinels, which there are going to be more of, but seeing as I'm going to have a Tandem Watchwing and a Silver Wing Rallier... Oh, shoot. Oh, boy. Okay. Well, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is Auric Sentry. And then he can kill 3 units? 3 units with it.
I stand ready.
Not my favorite day. Yeah, let's just end turn. Copperall Porter gives me a Justice Sigil.
How can I serve?
Also means that I don't have to sacrifice Tandem Watchwing and can attack with it again. He doesn't look willing to swing into a potential 8 damage, or potential lethal. So, if he does swing, it's because he's got a trick, perhaps? Crest of Cunning. Find a Lethrai Ranger. That's another unit I don't really need. Just gonna attack for 2 here. We really need our Challenge by Law, or something to lock this big 7-8 down, because it is a huge unit on the ground. Crownwatch Longsword, pretty cool. Let's go ahead and bond Silver Wing Rallier right now.
Here we make our stand. Spears.
That also beefs up the 3-2 and gives us a really good blocker on the ground. Go ahead and end my turn. Got 10 in the air. Feels very strong.
Step back.
Okay, Silver Wing Rallier took a little trip. He'll be back. Wish I had another Valkyrie to play out, but I'm afraid we're just gonna have to do it again.
Make our stand.
Do I want to play this Crownwatch Longsword on anything? I think we'll pass until the next turn. I probably shouldn't have played that 8th power, because it is pretty relevant for certain cards.
Find your own tool. If it's a fight you want.
Okay, you got a big dude. Good for you. This is a tricky situation. We really want to win in the air, and in order to do that, we basically just have to hit him as hard as we can for the next couple of turns. So I'm going to go Tandem, swing with both. That gives me 10. Valkyrie Arcanist gives me a 3-3 Defender, and we just have to kind of hold the fort for the next turn. 2 5-drop flyers should do the trick. Valkyrie Arcanist gives us another big beefy dude. Alright, somebody found their top deck bomb. Does he play a relic off the top and just murder my stuff? Like Sudden Claw of the First Dragon. 7 damage here is fine. We'll just take it. I can see no way that he's gonna play 8.
More
Ooh,
steel can't
wow,
hurt.
pretty good one, but yeah, that's just swing with everything, kill him. A Temper knocks out the 2/1, so he does actually have blocks for everything, but we have enough flyers in the air that it doesn't matter at all, so. There we go. Beat the Great Kiln Titan. Solid deck, though. That was an exciting one. Okay. Oh, it even got a really good pull off the Great Kiln. If he'd managed to play that out a little bit earlier, we would have been in trouble. It was a tense situation. We knew that there were big sentinels coming. I was really hesitant to not sacrifice to the Thorn Beast, and I think it may have been the wrong decision. 2013. So 7 games left. We have to not lose all of them to have a positive win rate, which I think should be fine. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. We're already in the 1300s. I basically just need to make top 1,000. I think our chances of getting to top 100 are very slim at this point, just because of our round 2. Like, our week 2 was not strong enough, but top 1,000 is very, very solid and should give us a lot of good stuff. Hey, this is cool. Yeah, this hand's pretty good. I don't have Double Justice, which is a little bit awkward, but there's not that many Double Justice cards beyond Valkyrie Arcanist, so Lothrai Ranger is going to play, then Skeeter, then Sparring Partner. There's my Double Justice.
You look lost.
So that's a 2/2 that turns into a 4/4.
Meet my axe.
Or potentially is a 3/3 this turn. Yeah, let's just play Skeeter here. Really want to attack, but I can't do that here. Do you try to force damage through is the question. Yeah, I was gonna say that attack doesn't seem likely, but it certainly could happen.
Do as I do.
Sparring Partner still gives me 2 blockers. And Shadow Sigil here, since Emerald Waystone might still come into play. Go ahead and end my turn. Oh man, I don't really want to use a Slay here, but forcing that 1/3 out of the way to just start pushing seems like a really good idea. Desert Marshal. Wow, what a strong play. He gets to silence the Skeeter and block it? Wait. I assumed he'd silence the Skeeter and kill the Lothrai Ranger, but yeah, I think that's just bad play. I think you just missed out the opportunity for a relative 2-for-1. I guess if you're super excited about Sandvine, that makes sense, but
By spell and steel.
yeah, not that great. You can attack me with your 4/6, but I'll just get
Mind over body.
to attack you, which is nice. Okay, he's not attacking me with the 4/6, which is even better. Let's play Silver and Rallier
We
here.
make our stand.
This Awakened Student is going to be a problem now. We'll hold on to the power 7 because we can use that for Gilded Glaive. I'm really not in love with that Awakened Student. That is a problem. I have 8 in the air, though, and there's only been 1 Sandbiter Sentinel so far. Okay, well, we're off to the races, and if we're going to be racing, I'm going to use a Plieg. That's 8. This is a pretty quick clock, so let's go ahead and do it. 5, 6, 7, 8. The most I can generate in 1 turn is 4. A 6, 7, and a 6, 8 both attacking me. I'll let him hit me this time. And we hit him for 8, and then we go again. And we basically just have to make sure that he doesn't have a trick. He's got like another Sandbiter Sentinel. That's not gonna do it. That only gets us lower. Block. 6, 3, 3. Block. Do we win? There we go. Sentinels are big, but they are not efficient. Okay. Here we go. Do I have to play all of the games in order to get the card back? No, I think you just have to... I believe it just says if you participate in the event, you get the card back. So I think as long as you play one game, or like I think if you buy into the event, honestly, you should be fine, seeing as you paid 10,000 for it. It would be very weird if they didn't give you a card back. Ooh. Tranquil Scholar, Battlefield Scavenger, Entrapment. I don't remember the exact wording, but yeah, you'll get your card back. It was okay. It's not amazing. Battlefield Scavenger first might be the right call, seeing as it's like the Minotaur Grunt of the ground. We can just play that down and immediately get a Warcry unit and stall the board against other 2-drops. Potentially get some cool Warcries in. Hey, there we go. Cool, let's do it. Tranquil Scholar here on the Tandem Watchwing is not a bad idea. I think we need to play this now before we run out of Tranquil Scholar targets. Overwhelm. The real problem there would have been if it got flying. I would have been a little bit sad at that point. Okay, Tandem Watchwing with Overwhelm is not the most crazy card, but we can work with it. Entrapment's still available. It's a little bit rough. Not that happy a camper, honestly. I'd really love to play the Crown Watch Longsword on this Valkyrie, but Tandem Watchwing's going to have to get the job done. Okay, so a 1-2 that we kind of have to Spirit Drain later, and also is going to stall us out with the Battlefield Scavenger Warcries. I'm not in love. Auric Sentry is really, really nice here, and I want to be able to attack with it, but it's just not going to happen here. Okay, well, now we got 2 2/2s. Could potentially go a little bit harder. Mostly seems fine to just keep hitting him. Auric Sentry, here we go. I've got a lot of stuff on the ground. That's not where I want to be right now. I want my Air Force.
Don't try to separate us.
Slay on this doesn't seem like such a bad idea, but we could also just kill the 1-2. Honestly, I think Slay the Scale Tender. And I'm very tempted to attack with my Auric Sentry. It's a Warcry for free. And then I get to kill the Sand Viper, which is a giant pain in my butt. I just don't have a path to kill the Sandbinder for another 3 or 4 turns. So I think it's better to just get rid of it and get the Warcry out. And then we can start Warcrying with our Battlefield Scavenger again, and putting weapons on stuff, which is our current battle plan.
Under the cover of darkness.
I've done this before.
Okay, those cards are pretty terrible, and a Plague is really, really good. Yeah, let's go ahead and roll that. Let's do it now. So now we're getting the Dark Veil Agent. We've got a 1-3 that can actually attack. We're doing damage. Traded out the Agent's Aegis ability. We've got weapons to put on stuff. We're actually winning this war on the ground. Sparring Partner can beef a unit, either Battlefield Scavenger or Tranquil Scholar. Man, I kind of don't want to do that to either one, because we could just get a Warcry instead. Or damage. How about we do it this way? Let's play the Gilded Glaive on the Battlefield Scavenger, so that I have 2 good attackers. That way I don't have to play Sparring Partner this turn, and if we get held back, we can play Sparring Partner. But these Warcries are actually going to win us the game, so... Surveying Mantisaur, the ultimate target for Spirit Drain, if we can find it. like Crown Watch Longsword on the 4/4, and I like making this a 5/7. Let's make this a 5/7. Let's go. More Warcries. Just gonna knock your stuff around. I have an Overwhelm unit? No, it's been silenced. Oh, High-Branch Sentry, a great sparring partner target.
There's much to learn here.
Becomes a 6/6, which seems pretty tough to handle. Although I think we may win before that happens. Okay, a 2/3 on the ground doesn't stop a 5/7 on the... in the air does not stop a 5/7 on the ground, so the 4/4 is not able to attack, which is perfect, because then we can sparring partner it. This is actually the first time that sparring partner and High-Branch Sentry have been able to work together. They are the worst pair. They're really, really badly designed together. Like, they do not do this buff ever. And it's really strange because they're both just the common mentor-student thing. I don't know, it's just an example of how mentor-student design really didn't work out the way that it was planned. Okay. Well, I mean, if I attack with both of these, he has to block with both of them, so... Then we have 3 and 2, which is lethal. Seems good. Got it. A mentor-student... almost made the cut, but there just wasn't enough power there. 664. Hey, wow, that just that many wins got us up to 664. I think that this is actually based on how many wins we have. This needs to be a higher number for us to actually stay in the top 1,000. I think we might even finish out in the top 100, but it'll decay over the rest of the week. So we'll give it a shot, and if we can win a lot of tiebreakers as well, I don't think we have a shot at the top 100. I think we're gonna get, like, 300, 400 placement. We'll see. Oh, what is my current record? Yeah, I forgot that the thing is kind of disguised. I've currently got 5 leaderboard games remaining, and we are 22-13. And why don't we... Can I move? I can't move all of this all at once. It's pretty well locked together. I could switch to this mode, which at least shows the record. Yeah, I kind of like that. Let's do that for the moment. Alright, Crest of Cunning, Argent Boar Banner, Shadow Sigil, Tranquil Scholar, High-Branch Sentry. Oh... Yeah, that looks good. This is a little tricky, because if I want to play Tranquil Scholar, I have to play Argent Boar Banner first. Which means I'm missing some power for a little while. Oh wait, no, we got a Justice Sigil, so now I can just play Crest of Cunning. Okay, another Justice Sigil makes 5. That's enough to play Emerald Monument. I think that's actually worth doing. Doesn't feel great to flood here, so if we draw another power, we're not terribly happy, but... yeah, I think it's correct. Tranquil Scholar gives Reckless to nothing. We can skip that. That is a mistake that I did make in week 2.
Ain't nowhere to hide.
Longshot Marksman is a perfect Pleiag target, so we'll see if we can get that going, but for the moment, we're just going to attack for 2. Play the High Branch.
Much to learn here.
And we can use Plague to defend our Tranquil Scholar, depending on what comes next. Ooh. Ooh, glorious. Our opponent is stuck. We're attacking with Reckless units. I've got the Auric Sentry available. Yeah, that feels good. And we get to put an Emerald Monument on this guy. Oh boy. Oh, it's so good. Affliction. Yeah, let's just go straight Emerald Monument. 7 damage across. Get the Warcry. Beefy guys striking hard. Affliction can knock things out. Plague can knock out like tons of chump blockers. There you go. Man, that Auric Sentry's such a good card. We got so many good cards in our last pack.